What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Sactown Sports Kings recap. My name is Chris Watkins. Today is going to be a short one, and I feel like I say that a lot, but this time I really mean it because the Kings did not give effort tonight, and I shouldn't say that. That's a little harsh. The game tonight was not fun. It was not good. And, frankly, I just don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I don't think Mike Brown and the coaching staff will spend a lot of time on tonight's game. So I don't think I will either. To Monday, I didn't get to watch much Monday Night Football, so we're gonna make tonight's recap show really, really short. First things first, even before today's game even started, injuries were a big talking point. Keon Ellis ruled out. Sasha Vezenkov and Kevin Huerter were both questionable heading into tonight's game. Sasha ultimately sat. Kevin did play after missing yesterday's game in Dallas with a finger injury, so he gave it a go today. But Keon Ellis, Trey Lyles still out, and Alex Len were all out even before tonight happened. And then Sasha, of course, was the scratch as well. And then as the game happened, we saw Chris Duarte pick up a hand injury to add to Kevin and Sasha's hand injuries as well. Duarte saw him shaking his hand. I think it was in the second quarter. It might have been in the third. Please excuse me if I try and erase everything from today's game out of my memory. But Duarte was shaking his hand, looked definitely bothered by that hand, and he ultimately checked out. It seemed like we got an update in the middle of the game from Kings PR that he was available to return. That then quickly shifted in the middle of the third quarter when they also announced that both Duarte and Keegan Murray, who did not come out for the second half, would be out for the remainder of the game. Still no update on Keegan Murray. We don't really know what that's about. We didn't hear that update going into the second half, or I should say coming out of the second half. But they're saying it's a lower back tightness, I believe, or lower back strain for Keegan Murray. And shout out Sean Cunningham of Fox 40 put out that Keegan already missed a game last year with lower back tightness, I believe. So this is not a new thing for Keegan. It's not really, I don't think, anything to be too concerned about. Maybe he misses Wednesday. I don't think so, but who knows? We'll see how he feels tomorrow. And then the day after that. In terms of the game itself, I mean, what a terrible night. The Kings played an okay first quarter, coming off the second night of a back-to-back, or this being the second night of a back-to-back. First quarter was all right. Second quarter, I see a lot of people, and they talked a lot on the broadcast about fatigue and that being the reason why the Kings didn't win tonight. I definitely think that played a factor for sure. I think that's why they weren't hitting a lot of their open looks, tired legs. You got to get your legs into shots, especially when you are tired and you try and, use a lot more of your arms and your shoulders to compensate. You're usually the last thing you're gonna do is try and use your knees and your legs, which is where all your power comes from your jump shot. So that was definitely a symptom of tired legs, but frankly, to me, the bigger thing that I noticed tonight, no pun intended, because Zion is a monster of a human, but the Kings had no answer for Zion Williamson, and it was that cut, dry, and simple. Even if this was a close game, I don't think the Kings would have won it because Zion Williamson, frankly, was just able to get whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. And to me, that's the much bigger storyline coming out of tonight. It's not a lot of people do have answers for Zion, but he's not a Victor Wembanyama or a Chet Holmgren or a Giannis Antetokounmpo or even a Kevin Durant or someone like that, where there's just not a lot of humans who are out here moving around like that. I get it. Zion is definitely a tank of a human, but the Kings have nobody who can physically match up with him, and that shouldn't be the case. I think Trey Lyles, ideally, is the perfect person on this roster to put him on, but to me, the fact that Zion and Brandon Ingram as well, who probably fits more into that Giannis KD category I was talking about, but the fact that the Kings have nobody to throw at those guys, that's really the biggest problem with the Kings forwards, and that's Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes. Both of those guys, they're fine, they're solid, but when it comes to specialty matchups, they just really they don't really get it done. Again, I will always say the Giannis's, the KDs, the Paul Georges, the Kawhis, the LeBrons of the world. The Kings just don't have anyone to put on them, and we even saw the other night against the Lakers. HB cannot physically match up with guys like LeBron, and definitely not with guys like Zion. Zion just threw him around all night long, was able to get whatever he wanted. Story of the game to me, from the Pelican side, Zion dominated the second quarter. Brandon Ingram dominated the third. Zion in that second quarter, 18 points, 8 of 11 from the field, got most of his work done then. Finishes off the night 11 of 14 from the field. Are you serious? Only 3 missed shots. Was just getting everything in the paint. And then Brandon Ingram in the third quarter did the complete opposite. He couldn't miss from the perimeter, 4 of 4 from the three, 18 points as well in that third quarter, 6 of 10 from the field. It's really tough. I mean, though, this is also the type of team that the Kings struggled with a lot last year as well. These long, rangy teams that just have wingspan. The Kings don't really have a lot of length to match that, and they really, really struggled tonight yet again. Teams like Orlando and the Lakers to an extent last year. The Raptors have been a team that just gives the Kings fits because they just don't have the personnel to really match up with those kind of teams. So, you could argue tonight was definitely a schedule loss. You could argue stylistically this isn't a good fit for the Kings. But I don't think that's any excuse for what happened tonight. I think that these kind of performances were supposed to be left behind them in Houston. And the Kings actually have a really funny / ironic opportunity here to do exactly what they probably said they would never do just 2 weeks ago, and that's look like how they did in Houston. So Wednesday will be interesting. Same team, same opponent. I would imagine Sasha Vezenkov probably plays in that game. Who knows on Trey Lyles? Who knows on Alex Len? We actually do know on. Alex will be out for another couple weeks. Keon Ellis, we don't know about that. I would assume with an ankle, probably won't be able to give it a go on Wednesday. But I would assume, I would assume Kevin Huerter is good to go moving forward. Chris Duarte, who knows? We have no update on him or Keegan's injury from today. But we'll see on Wednesday. Wednesday's got to be one of those statement games where the Kings come out and have to understand it doesn't. Obviously, it would be a lot better to get the win, but they have to put in 48 minutes of effort on Wednesday. There's no way they can follow tonight's performance with just an absolute another just stinker because tonight had little to no positives. De'Aaron was terrible tonight. He was I don't know if he was tired, but it felt like he was settling way too much for that perimeter jumper. He was 2 of 12 tonight from three. Maybe he was looking at his percentages and saw he was at 40 and was feeling himself or whatever, but De'Aaron didn't have it tonight. Sabonis definitely was bothered by foul trouble. I think Jonas Valanciunas did a great job of being physical with him and just asserting his dominance. And if I'm not mistaken, Harrison Barnes was the Kings' leading scorer at 16 tonight, which is just absolutely perfect because, of course, Harrison Barnes has himself a decent game, 16 points on 9 shots, and the Kings aren't able to utilize it and take advantage of that. So that's really all I got to say from tonight's game. Again, don't really want to put too much time into tonight because I think this is one of those games where Mike Brown probably doesn't have to say much. He's probably just going to mention that they've already been through this, and he probably feels like he doesn't even need to say anything because he just told he probably just gave the speech of his life 2 weeks ago to this team about the very same problem. So he's going to save his breath. I'm going to save mine as well. If this happens again on Wednesday, I promise heading into Thanksgiving, we can have a nice long therapy session with everybody who joins us after every single Sacramento Kings game right here on Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel. If you joined us tonight, you are the absolute realest of real ones. There's no reason to look for Kings content after a night like tonight. Get y'all some sleep. Watch some Monday Night Football. I don't know. Just do something that brings you joy because the Kings did not do that tonight. Everybody, please enjoy your night. Kings end their 6-game win streak with an embarrassment in New Orleans. Good opportunity for them to bounce back as they play New Orleans again on Wednesday and then end this 6-game road trip on Friday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Can't have another performance like tonight. I think that's the biggest thing. And yes, Jess, absolutely, there are no stars being given out tonight after tonight's performance because, frankly, nobody deserved it unless we want to do a Pelicans podcast, which I'm not planning to do. I am planning to eat dinner, enjoy my night, and hopefully, let's see, can I get a quarter in? I can watch the fourth quarter of this Eagles-Chiefs game. So I suggest everybody else do the same. I will see you all possibly tomorrow from 10 to 2, Styles and Watkins, right here, Sactown Sports 1140. If not, I will check you out Wednesday. Join us after the game in New Orleans as well. Hopefully that one, it has to go better than tonight, right? I feel like I said that after the first Rockets game, but here we are again. Y'all have a fantastic night. Goodbye.